Okay, so a little pen picture of Benedict. Now, name Benedictus of Nursia, aka Benedict, Scholastica's brother. Nationality Roman, born in Umbria. Dates circa 480 to circa 547. Appearance not known, but probably somewhat scratched. Before he was famous, student in Rome, and famous for being the father of Western monasticism. And why does he matter? He wrote the Benedictine rule, which became the pattern for Western monks to follow. And could he have a drink with him down the pub? No. But you might be able to share a sip of water with him in his grotto. A night at the Cassino. Double S. In Egypt, the monastic movement had been kick-started by Christians who saw how evil the world had become and wanted no part of it. In Italy, very much the same thing happened. Benedict of Nursia, circa 480 to 547, was an Italian who, while studying in Rome, was appalled to find that the holy city was very unholy indeed. So he decided to run away from all that as far as he could. He fled to the Italian countryside, where he lived for 3 years in a cave and spent many happy hours overcoming temptation by repeatedly throwing himself naked into thorn bushes. By now, the works of Pachomius and Basil of Caesarea, with their monastic rules, had been translated into Latin, and at least during the times he wasn't picking thorns out of himself, Benedict decided to follow their example. In 529, accompanied by his sister Scholastica, he founded a monastery at Monte Cassino, designed to offer a home for those who are looking for something different to the way of life being offered by the Church of the West. And you can't get much more different than flinging yourself into thorn bushes. The next 2 pages have a map, lovely map again of the Roman Empire, or after its dissolution. And I'll just describe that for you. So we've got the Byzantine Empire, largely in the east, the Franks and the Visigoths in the areas they ruled in what is now Spain and France. Up here we've got Celtic Church and Milton Keynes, not established yet. What's that? Cantuaria, that's Canterbury. And the Celtic Church up there in Ireland. Okay, down here, Mauritania in Africa. So here's another dotted line roughly down the split here, where mainly Western or Latin Church to the west, obviously, and mainly Eastern or Greek Orthodox Church, Greek Church to the east. And that's pretty much it. It's in the 6th century under Justinian, really, what the Byzantine Empire looked like. And in the east we've got Monophysites, Nestorians, and more Monophysites in Egypt as well. Right, that's enough of that. You can't see the map anyway, so you're not bothered, are you? Back to good old Benedict. Several miracles are attributed to him, including miraculously surviving 3 attempts to poison him by other monks who were annoyed that he refused to become their abbot. Might be a clue as to why he turned them down, really. Benedict himself is a shadowy figure. We may in fact be talking about several Benedicts. There are suggestions that the ideas attributed to him come from a number of individuals. But the rule attributed to him or them was simple and straightforward, meaning that it could be replicated and adapted by monks wherever they set up. And so, the Benedictine rule became the template for monastic life in Europe. Benedict is indeed the patron saint of monks, not to mention cavers, Italian architects, and people suffering from nettle rash. From the earliest days, Christians had followed a pattern of fixed-hour prayer. Benedict used this kind of pattern for his rule. To gather the community to prayer from wherever they were in the monastery, Benedictine monks eventually invented machines that rang the bells, or clocca in Latin, and the whole world came to rely on the descendants of these machines, the clocca, or as we know them, clocks. His monks took vows of poverty, celibacy, and obedience. Silence was also encouraged. Monks were not allowed to talk too much or to laugh. It was disciplined, but not harsh. Despite Benedict's adventures in the thorn bush, he thought that nothing too harsh, nothing too burdensome should be demanded of the community. Benedictines were expected to remain in their community for life. Their motto was ora et labora, prayer and work. They were to work to support themselves and benefit the economy around them. The rest of the time was to be spent praying or studying the Bible. Study was immensely important. Benedictine houses were places of learning, and in the West, they preserved and copied many scrolls and books. That's all for today.